At the beginning of this month, I uploaded this video, and let's just say I have not been sticking to my favorite TBR, meaning I only read one book out of the 7 books in this video. And there's only 4 more days until the end of this month. So can I finish these books by then? I don't know. Let's find out. Hello guys, it is 5 p.m. February 25th, so that means we have 4 days. Wait, is it 4 days? Till the end of this month. Tell me why I thought that there was 30 or 31 days in this month. That's what I thought, and it messed up my scheduling of when I'm filming different videos and reading different books for those videos. So I actually had to pause a video I'm filming right now to film this video. Yeah, that's something I would do. I don't even know the days of the week sometimes. Anyways, I am in a really big reading slump. I think it's been over a week since I've actually picked up a book because I finished the Throne of Glass series and Kingdom of Ash. I don't know what to say about it. I'm still thinking about it. I still think about it every day, and I don't know if another fantasy series will live up to that series. Anyways, this is my favorite TBR. There are 7 books. I read this book in this video. And then we have Addicted to You, which I decided to leave out of my favorite TBR because I don't want to start a new series, especially this one because there's a lot of books in this series. And I wanted to finish the Magnolia Park series before starting this because I heard they're kind of similar. So I don't want to be reading kind of 2 similar series at the same time. So we are left with these books. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. And in these types of videos, I usually like to pick up the book that I'm least interested in or the longest so that I have those books that I'm looking forward to reading to look forward to. And I tried to start By a Thread by Lucy Score. This is more like a slow burn type of romance, hence why it's like really long boy romance. But I decided to like kind of take a break from it and put it down, come back to it. So I started a book that I'm like anticipating to read. It's been out for a while, and that is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I love her romance that's set in like the science world. The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain. I know it's basically the same story but with different characters and like slightly different plots. But you know what? I love it. I loved both of those books, and I'm hoping to love this one too. And it's just like comforting to know that I know I'm gonna love this book because I love the previous 2 books that are basically the same thing, if you know what I mean. Got to chapter 3, page 46, and it's going good so far. It's your typical like same as the other 2 books, enemies to lovers, workplace romance. We follow Elsie and Jack. This is the first time that I've seen the love interest to be, you know, light-haired, blonde. Elsie, our female main character, is like a professor, and she's not making much out of this teaching job, so she has a side hustle where she provides services. She essentially fake dates people who need like a date or a girlfriend to a specific event, and she has this favorite client named George. It turns out that George's older brother is Jack Smith, who is the person standing in the way of her getting her dream job at MIT. She didn't know his like identity, or he had a different name, and it turns out he's the guy who basically ruined her mentor's career. So she hates him and he hates her because he thinks that she's playing George because he doesn't know the whole fake dating situation. I'm loving it. It's 5 p.m. I already showered. I'm in my PJs, freshly washed sheets, freshly washed hair. I feel good. So I'm gonna get comfy and hopefully finish this tonight because these books usually I finish in one sitting. So let's get to reading. Hello guys, it's 2 hours later. Don't mind the lighting. I know I hate overhead lighting, but it's just gonna have to do for now. Anyways, I got this far into the book, page 161, chapter 12, and I forgot how much I love Ali Hazelwood's writing. It's just so fast-paced, it's easy to read and entertaining. I just love Ali Hazelwood's books. And these two characters, Jack and Elsie, it's enemies to lovers. I love enemies to lovers. I will eat up any book that's enemies to lovers as long as it's done properly. And she does a pretty good job. Like typical enemies at the beginning, they hate each other. There's so much tension between them, but the banter is unmatched. I love how in enemies to lovers the banter transitions from like mean, jabbing at each other's throats, like insulting each other, to like playful, still a little bit mean but flirty banter. The amount of hate they had each other from the beginning, you just know that their romance and their love story is gonna be so good, and it's starting. I just finished chapter 11 and that was like a big chapter. Wow, I wish it was longer. That chapter got me giggling and kicking my feet. Also, the dedication in this book, it mentions that there's gonna be an Adam and Olive cameo. They're the main characters in The Love Hypothesis, and I absolutely love that as well. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading. I want to finish this tonight. I think I can. I'll see you later. Hey guys, it's 2 days later. It's currently the 27th, so that means I have 2 days left in this challenge. I know you didn't see me yesterday, but I had a good reason, because I had scheduling conflicts and I forgot I had to film a video, and I was waiting until like the natural lighting was good in my room, but it was just bad the whole week. It was dark and gloomy, and lo and behold, today, this morning, the lighting was perfect after I filmed everything. Anyways, that's good and taken care of. It's currently like uploading onto YouTube right now, so if you haven't watched that video. Anyways, it is currently 4:25. Yeah, I was editing the video this morning, so that means I have like a day and a half to finish all these books that I have on my February TBR. At this point, I'm gonna have to stay up all night, and it's gonna turn into like a 24-hour readathon challenge. As you saw in the past clips, I did start the second book in this video, which is Ignite Me, but before I start talking about this, I want to talk about the first book that I finished in this video, which is Love Theoretically. Oh my god, this book was so good. It was so good. I finished it in a single sitting. I think this is my favorite books out of the 3 that she has that takes place in the science world, and Jack Smith is my first light-haired blonde book boyfriend that I like, because he knows how to read girls, especially Elsie. I'm so shocked. I was like, is he actually a mind reader? Does he have powers? Because he's right every time. As we know, Elsie from the beginning of the book has this tendency to people please a lot. Jack notices that she's never really honest with the people she interacts with. She tells them what they want to hear and shows them what they want to see from her. And Jack calls her out on that, and he's been the only person that she could really let loose and show herself and say the things that she wants and do the things that she would want to do and not pretend to be someone else. And I love that character development. That was so good. The plot was very predictable, what was gonna happen, but like, it's because I read the other books and it's very similar, the plot. But what I did like compared to the other books was that the plot twist, or like the conflict, didn't show up right at the end of the story. Like, it showed up like in near the middle, I think, and I liked that because it showed more about how they worked it out and what they did to make their relationship work. And then she kept bringing up Twilight in this book, so I'm like, is this a sign from the universe that I need to reread the Twilight series? I don't know. Do you guys want a video on that? Anyways, I think I'm gonna give this a 5 stars because it's the first book that I finished after Kingdom of Ash that I actually liked and enjoyed, and it kind of got me out of that reading slump, and I just loved it. This is my favorite book by her so far. And then the second book in this video, Ignite Me, I started this book this morning and I got this far in. I got to chapter 21, page 132, and this is the third book in the Shatter Me series. I don't know why I haven't read this yet. Like the last 2 books and the novellas that I read last year, so I had to like watch some recap videos on what happened in those 2 books, and this book primarily focuses on Warner, or Aaron, and I love him. After reading the novellas, I loved him and I hated Adam. So far there's not much going on. I mean, there is a lot, but I don't want to say anything because if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil anything. I got to the part where the tension in the love triangle between Juliet, Warner, and Adam is like going up. So I'm gonna keep reading and update you guys in a little bit. I'm planning to finish this today because these books usually are really fast-paced and easy to read. It's been like an hour or so since I last updated you guys. I got to chapter 29, page 182, and oh my god, I'm loving this so much. I'm loving this for Warner and Juliet, because Adam, he's being difficult, he's being rude, incredibly rude and hurtful. Warner, he's misunderstood. He's so sweet. I love him. I love him. And Kenji reminds me of Riddick from Fourth Wing. He's like the jokester of the group. And I don't know how he finds energy to joke around, have fun while all these horrible things are happening in the world right now because of the war and the government. Yeah, I'm loving it so much. I'm loving Warner. And I think he's blonde. So this is like the second blonde book boyfriend that we have in this video. That is so rare. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading, probably finish this in about like 3 or 4 hours. I don't know, maybe you'll see me before then or not. Good morning. It is the last day of this month, which is the last day of this challenge, and I'm not feeling pretty good about it. I don't feel good right now. That's why I look like this. Don't mind me. I woke up like 20 minutes ago. It's 9:30 a.m. right now, so I have like over 12 hours to finish this challenge and succeed, but I don't know if I will succeed because I have Anxious People, Nora Goes Off Script, and By a Thread, which is a long book. I did end up finishing Ignite Me last night, and I tried to start By a Thread by Lucy Score. I just couldn't get into it, so I ended up getting the audiobook. I'm planning to like do some immersive reading. Is that what it's called? When you listen to an audiobook and then follow along in the book? I don't know. Sometimes that's helped me like get through the initial like first 50 pages and then really get into the book afterwards. Just because some books have a really slow start. Yeah, anyways, this is what I'm gonna do for the first little bit of the morning and probably go on the treadmill to walk. Just because if I don't move today, I'm gonna feel bad. So I'm gonna do that. I'll come back with my review for Ignite Me and an update on this book. Hey guys, it's a couple hours later, or a few hours later actually. I am just back again with another update. I feel like I didn't update as much as I did this morning. I did finish Ignite Me, like I said, in that previous update, and it was so good. This is by far my favorite book in the series just because of the romance that we get in here. It's so good. I loved it. But there were times where I felt like things weren't as descriptive and kind of just left alone too soon. But then again, I think it's because I just came from reading and finishing the Throne of Glass series, where I tend to compare a lot of the books that I'm reading to that series. And that series, everything was so detailed, everything was done perfectly. I shouldn't be comparing these two series because, yeah, they're both fantasy, but they're in different categories, I'm gonna say, because this one targets a younger audience. It's YA, and Throne of Glass is more of an adult fantasy, and I don't know, I just miss reading that. Anyways, I think I'm gonna give this like a 4.5 stars. I loved Warner's thing in here, but what I don't get is, how is he in love with her so soon? Like, he was in love with her before he even knew her, I feel like. There's just no explanation to how his feelings have developed. Juliet's character development was really good in here too. She started off as like a shy girl who doesn't talk, like she's been in prison most of her life, and now at the end of this she's like, let's fight, let's take these bad guys out. And that was really good. And then I started By a Thread this morning, like I told you guys. And like I told you guys, I did some immersive reading by like getting the audiobook. And I got this far into the book. I got to chapter 35, page 238. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't update, okay? It's because I was reading in bed this morning, started it. It was kind of slow, and then I went on the treadmill to walk, and I didn't even know I was walking for 2 hours and 30 minutes. It got really interesting about like 50 pages ago, and now I am locked in. Like, I want to sit and finish and binge this book. It is a very, very slow burn. By a Thread, like it says here, is a grumpy boss romantic comedy. It follows two characters named Dominic and Ali. Dominic is the grumpy boss. He is the creative director of a really big fashion magazine that his mom owns. He's just a jerk. Everyone is scared of him. He is cold, mean. It all started with them meeting at a pizza restaurant. Dominic was there with his mother to like have lunch, and he ends up getting her fired. Later on, the mom approaches her at a bus stop and offers her a job, and then there was this other guy there's like, oh, do you have a job for me too? And she ends up giving him a job too. His name's Buddy, and I love him. He's one of my favorite side characters in this book. And Ali ends up working as an admin in their company, but you know, they cross paths a lot, and they admit their like attraction for each other. And this is dual point of view, so I know that they're definitely attracted to each other. It can't happen because Dominic is his boss, and he doesn't want to break the rules because of some traumatic past incidences. So that's what is happening right now. I'm sorry I talk so much. This book is surprisingly good. It just took me a while to get super interested. So I'm gonna keep reading. I have about 300 pages left in this book, so it'll probably take me 4 to 5 hours, and it's 4:30 in the afternoon. How does time move so fast? Hello guys, it's not even 10 minutes later. I just wanted to give you guys more details about the book. I feel like I didn't describe it as well as I did in the previous clip, but the book By a Thread is actually what I'm using as a tripod right now because I'm too lazy to get my actual tripod. Anyways, I wanted to give you more of an insight on Ali. Ali is the female main character, and she is living paycheck to paycheck because she has a father that she's supporting in a nursing home. I believe he has dementia because every time she goes and visits him, he tends to like not remember who she is, which is really sad. And then there's so much that she does in order to, you know, be able to pay those bills. Like, she does everything. She does not ask people for money, and Dominic is over here caring about her, seeing what he can do to help her, but at the same time not wanting to want her. If you know what I mean, it's that type of romance. Like, they both want each other, but they don't. And I was listening to the audiobook. Like I said, like I'm going around doing the dishes or cooking rice. I don't know, that's like a typical thing that I do every day. And there's a spicy. I'm shocked because I'm like, wait, I take out my earbuds and I'm like, did anyone else hear that? Because I live with 2 younger brothers. Crazy. Crazy. Dominic has some crazy thoughts and does crazy things. But right now I'm loving it. And I have to go drop off said younger brother to his volleyball practice. Is it volleyball or basketball? He's not talking to me right now. Hello guys, it's the next day. I did end up finishing By a Thread by Lucy Score last night, and it was a long one. This was definitely a slow burn. I loved Ali, her story, her struggles, her challenges, her sacrifices just to make things work in her life, and then this pitiful description of a man walks into her life. Don't get me wrong, I loved the slow burn of this, of how they can't be together because of like some workplace policies, and I loved their banter from the very beginning. It was like enemies to lovers, they hated each other, and then it transformed to like playful flirty banter, and I always loved that. And I'm just gonna say I don't like Dominic. I think the reason why I didn't like the second half of this book was because I didn't like Dominic. The fact that I thought that Dominic was like an immature nepo baby, probably in his like late 20s, early 30s, you know? But then I find out he's over 40. He's 45 and he's still acting like this. It was so immature. Like, what? I was so frustrated whenever I had to read about his POV because all these reasons, I get it. You got lots of trauma, you have lots of things going on, the job's stressful, but I don't think he needed to treat Ali like that. It just seems like he was not acting like his age and acting like his shoe size. Everything Ali was going through, she was going through a lot compared to Dominic. Like, Dominic has money. He can throw money at things and get what he wants, but not Ali. I just couldn't ship them. Like, I loved Ali. I wish there was a better guy for her because Dominic was not it. He solved everything by throwing money at it. I get it, the gesture's nice, him fixing all her problems and stuff like that. But would he have done that if he didn't have money? I feel like a lot of things that he did revolved around money, and him saving the relationship revolved around money, which I'm not a fan of. I was just struggling through the last half of this book. And thank God I had the audiobook because I don't think I would have enjoyed this book as much as I did without the audiobook. I think I'm gonna give this like a 2.5 stars. And now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the fact that I didn't finish my February TBR. Also, isn't it so, it's hard to say February, like February, I can never say it. So every time you hear that word from me, it sounds different. Thank God it's over. It's March, easier to pronounce. But yeah, I didn't finish all the books that I wanted to finish this month. The 2 books I didn't end up finishing or reading this month is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman and Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. I wanted to read these books. I feel like I was looking forward to them, but it's okay because I ended up reading 4 of the other ones on my TBR. And these I've had for a long time, so I'm slowly chipping away at my very long physical TBR. If you stayed this long into the video, comment the dress emoji because this was the last book I read and I'm just so frustrated still. I'm so frustrated by Dominic's character in this. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below if you haven't, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.